my God, my arm's gonna die. Okay, hi everyone. Anthony Fantano here, internet's busiest music nerd, and it's time for a big, fat, honkin' vinyl update. A big vinyl update, a big, beefy one with a lot of beef. For some reason, just had some pickups, had some things sent my way toward the end of the year as we are now in December. And there were some things here that honestly were just too good to not talk about now. Too good to not talk about now. Could not wait until 2026, especially since the first thing that you just saw there is going to be out, I think, tomorrow as of the shooting of this video. So big release, cool stuff. Let's get into it. No further ado. This is one of a couple releases that was sent to me by Capture Tracks. Apparently, as legendary and as long-standing an indie label as Capture Tracks is, from what I understand, this is their first foray into compilations. They haven't done a comp before, and it's not a comp of, just like popular artists on the label, which I mean, of which there are many, and there's some very good artists on the Capture Tracks label. They actually did a bit of digging on this one. Strum and Thrum, the American Jangle Underground, 1983 to 1987. Now, if you're a Jangle pop head, I wouldn't say the array of bands, the array of obscure underground random bands that are assembled on this record, set of records, or maybe kind of your typical super clean, super heavenly Jangle pop type of sound. The recordings here are very raw, very rough around the edges, but, jangly and very indie flavored all the same. Clearly, like some Smiths influence going into some of these bands and, similar groups. I mean, it's funny, for as American as these bands are, obviously, there's like really a Manchester vibe to some of their sounds, a post-punky vibe to some of their sounds. And again, prior to having put on this this compilation, I hadn't really heard of any of these bands, honestly, maybe once or twice in passing. But there's an array of different groups here, and a lot of different bands, honestly, not many repeats, if any, and a lot of cool, fun cuts from the likes of Sex Clark 5, Crippled Pilgrims, Salem 66. You would think, like, from some of these names, this is like got to be the wildest, most raw, most nasty, like hardcore punk bands or something like that. And there's definitely a punk spirit to a lot of the sounds these groups are pushing forward. But no, this is like very much a cool collection of like very early raw indie bands. And, compilations like this, I absolutely positively go gaga for because, honestly, they're works of anthropology in a lot of ways because, you're digging into a bunch of like lost gems and records and artists and songs that have been kind of like lost in the sands of time and, digging them up and putting them all together to create a map, a time period, an essence of an era. And I think these two LPs do a really good job of doing that. Again, a lot of fun groups, a lot of fun tracks on this compilation. You have all of the, single arts and everything like that on both sides of the two records. And then, in addition to that, there is actually like a book. Talk about the passion, an oral history from the first wave of American indie rock. There's some really well-written, well-thought-out like liner notes pulling all of this together with little interview snippets, with mentions of other groups that were kind of prominent and important during the time, like REM and that sort of thing. I mean, just like a really cool historical dig on the early years of indie. Of course, like, two records can't encompass all of it, but what Capture Tracks have done here is at the very least provide like a very cool, a very respectable snapshot of a time period in American indie rock that I don't know if you're getting much of anywhere else from any other kind of like competing compilation out there, at least not on this level with this like level of detail and liner notes and storytelling and everything. So, I mean, this is a very cool, very fun compilation. I had a great time putting this on. Similar vibe among all the tracks too. So, you know, even though it is a bunch of different bands, like it does flow together very seamlessly. But yeah, cool, really cool collection of songs for sure. Again, more artists. Excuse me. Riff Doctors, The Ferrets, Great Plains, 28th Day. But yeah, you can see the rest of this if you look it up online in terms of the track list. But it is a very cool collection. Shout out to the Hives, whose newest record, the Hives Forever, Forever the Hives, I think is a very good album. One of the most badass and rockin' and catchy, straightforward, hard-ass rock albums that you can listen to from 2025. Enough is enough. It's a bad call. Some AC/DC vibes on here occasionally. OCDOD kind of throwing it back to you know, the hardcore punk vibes of their first record here and there. Legalize living. Lots of good sick-ass anthems. You know, imagine anthemic punk and garage rockers, like maybe what Green Day was attempting on Father of All, but like, you know, actually good. But yeah, sick record, straightforward black pressing, very cool album. Loving this one from the Hives. This is the best they have sounded in years, in my opinion. And there you go. Lots of good highlights on there. And, you know, if you haven't heard many Hives albums, please go back to their like first 3 records. Lots of good quality cuts there. Next, this was a record that was sent to me personally from none other than the man on the front, Joe Pera. Drifting Off with Joe Pera. If you guys know me, and I hope you know me, then you know that I was a big fan of Joe's show on Adult Swim, Joe Pera Talks to You. After that show was over, he went on to do a stand-up special, do a podcast, Drifting Off with Joe Pera. And the podcast is very entertaining, very relaxing, very good, quality podcast. Subscribe today. But he decided to basically press a bunch of excerpts from certain episodes into a compilation of 2 LPs. And, you know, while there's definitely something more, I think, to listening to the entirety of certain episodes, they all weave together pretty well. And, you know, Joe definitely does a good job. Joe and company do a good job of, like, you know, pulling together some of the best highlights and all that. Though, you know, again, given that it is a record and it's going to be, you know, kind of like a skipping forever toward the very end, I wouldn't recommend falling asleep while you're playing this. It's vinyl. You're going to have to flip it at some point, no? But still, you know, it's a very entertaining series of excerpts from the podcast series. Love this kind of cute map of different, you know, snippets of episodes given the topic and everything, which, you know, if you give it a listen, you'll sort of like get pretty quickly. You have, you know, gardening tips, you've got space, you've got video games, soup, time, so on and so forth. So again, really interesting collection of snippets, and you know, straightforward black pressing, nothing too crazy, but you know, it sounds really good, and it's a cool little collection of relaxing, enjoyable podcast snippets, and you know, something worth having if you've enjoyed the podcast. And yeah, most definitely worth checking out if you have not heard of Joe Pera's work before the podcast. That is because I don't know if the show's playing currently. It's probably accessible online. Obviously, you know, I've downloaded it myself legally. But anyway, moving on. The Lemon Twigs captured tracks past me. This as well, along with their latest album too. A Dream Is All We Know. You guys should know that this one I have not popped open yet. Everything Harmony was, what was it, 2024? Okay, anyway, 2024? No, this was 2023. Sorry, 2023. This is one of my favorite albums of 2023. I believe it was in my top 10. Really great, passionate, soulful, soft rock excursion, which was a bit of a Bit of a departure for the Twigs, considering that a lot of their songs and records previously dabbled more in kind of like, quirky garage rock and psych rock revivalism, very Beatles and very, Beach Boys-esque at points. But still, like kind of raw and quirky, definitely falling in the footsteps of a lot of Elephant Six bands, that sort of thing. Again, this is like a very slick, glossy, soft rock excursion, and I love it. The songwriting is so good. The production is so good. Dream Is All We Know, which this was reviewed on the channel by none other than Giggins. This is more sort of like, back to regularly scheduled programming for Lemon Twigs. But, given the years of talent and production experience and songwriting experience that like went into getting to this point, they're kind of coming at their usual tricks from new angles with more skill, more songwriting chops. It's just an incredible series of throwback nostalgic rock songs that I believe go toe to toe with some of the best classic stuff in these genres from these eras. But yeah, Lemon Twigs, one of the coolest duos out there right now. Consistently underrated. Even took me a while to really come to appreciate their talents and their work. Fun little insert. Got the lyrics there. Got the liners. Cute drawings of the boys. White pressing. Can you believe I met these guys at Primavera Sound and they spilled water on me? Can you believe it? And after all the positive things I've had to say about their music, they went and spilled water on me. We got a fun little poster. There's the Twigs. There's the boys. We love some East Coast pop boys. That's all I'm going to say. All right, let's put that in there. Actually, I'm going to leave this out. I might put this somewhere. Might post this somewhere. Also, recently, I think this is a record store day thing, but I didn't get it on record store day. I got it as a bit of a leftover thing. Talking Heads demos, live cut on here too. I'm a bit of a Talking Heads fanatic. Got most of their records, at least their records that I enjoy. Their later era stuff, I'm not much of a collector of, but got all the early stuff. And I wasn't blown away by the quality of what I was hearing on these demos, but they're demos, but there is like a really cool early, if you're at all familiar with the progression and story of the band, there's like an early 7-inch of the Artistics, which is obviously like the pre-Talking Heads iteration of the group. But yeah, the quality of the demos is not mind-blowing or anything like that, but as somebody who is interested in kind of like the evolution and progression beginnings of the band and how they kind of came to form the sound that they eventually did, hearing them in this like very kind of raw primordial state is very interesting to say the least. It's not like a mind-blowing listen, but it's more like a homework listen if you're a hardcore fan. And, you just enjoy what they do. Clear vinyl. We have for any fans who know, interesting collection of tracks, early versions of Psycho Killer, Warning Sign, I'm Not in Love, Book I Read, a lot of highlights. So there you go. And, an early Psycho Killer version when they were, the Artistics, that is. But there you go. Talking Heads demos. Boom. With some raised text here and there on the front, which is a nice touch. This one came by way of the Jazz Dispensary. I forget what the full backstory and spiel is because it was on the sticker that I took off on the front, but the title of this thing is Green Bullets. Jazz Dispensary Green Bullets. And what I can recall from the concept of this thing is what you have here is essentially a lot of instrumental funk jazz fusion versions of some pretty popular and notable cuts and instrumentals and that sort of thing. And they're pulled together from a bunch of different artists and places and so on and so forth, like some that I could note. For example, we have, let me see, Isaac Hayes Isaac Hayes Movement, Bill Summers and Summer Heat, Feel the Heat, Who else do we have here? We have Merle Saunders, the Three Pieces, the Blackbirds theme. Basically, the idea is pull all of these songs together with a similar sort of like jazz funk kind of energy. Slap it with this way crazy imagery of like, the muscle car escaping the police, the helicopter in the sky, the cop car flipped over, so on and so forth, and essentially tell the audience all of these songs are being pulled together for an imagined heist movie soundtrack. And with that in mind, with that idea in your head being the concept that brings all these songs together on this green piece of vinyl, because again, it's green bullets, it kind of works. Like the songs make sense together. It's like, okay, yeah, no, I can imagine this like working in a certain scene of the movie where they're at the strip club and they meet a girl who joins the team because she seduces the guy who runs the bank or something. I don't know, some crazy shit like that. So again, imagined heist movie soundtrack for a film that does not exist. I mean, there's even like a funny little spiel. The summer of 1977 was a scorcher. The only thing thicker than the notorious LA smog was the infamous green smoke of a new strain making a name for itself from the dive bars of the San Fernando Valley to the beachfront mansions in Malibu. Like, it goes on. It's some silliness. But yeah, I mean, fun concept and cool collection of tracks. I mean, wild idea for a random record, but I guess why not? I mean, one could just like grab all these songs and be like, hey, cool jazz funk tracks, and it would have been a fine collection of songs, but slap them together and come up with a fake movie concept. Why not? Make it more fun, I guess. All right, there you go. Green Bullets. Shout out Jazz Dispensary. Also got past this record of this mid-90s Jonathan Richman album. One I hadn't heard before, You Must Ask the Heart. Jonathan Richman slaps a very interesting song, an ode to goth girls on this one titled Vampire Girl, which is very entertaining. It's on a pink vinyl. And yeah, I mean, as far as like the songwriting and performances go, it's not peak Jonathan Richman, but it's not bad either. I mean, it's stripped back, it's very sincere, it's very honest, it's very clean sounding, feels like a series of in-the-moment organic kind of lightning in a bottle studio performances, that sort of thing. But it doesn't have quite, the eccentricity or like, high quirk energy that made a lot of his earlier stuff or like Modern Lovers stuff so fun and so interesting. So I mean, as far as like his trademark personality, this collection of songs is a little milder, but still by general singer-songwriter standards, Jonathan Richman is still, quite quirked up. And it's still a very enjoyable record to say the least. There's like a fun little story, producer's note story on one side, which was cool. More information on the other side of the sleeve. And as promised, kind of a bubblegum pink record over here on this, again, new version of You Must Ask the Heart. The newest mid-90s album from Jonathan Richman, You Must Ask the Heart. But yeah, cool collection of songs from Jonathan Richman. Not my favorite, I think as far as like his 90s stuff goes, I Jonathan, which I'm pretty sure is an early 90s one, is really, peak for me, but this is still quite fun. All right, got past a picture disc of Justice's Hyperdrama, which I'm very immensely, oh, there's a sticker there, which I'm very immensely, oh my God, very immensely grateful for. I mean, given that it is a picture disc, I haven't spun it. I've traditionally been very picky about whether or not I'm throwing my picture discs onto the record player, onto the platter. But I mean, really cool side-by-side collection here. I mean, really sick presentation. There we go, to say the least. Again, really sick way to present the record. I mean, damn, I'm not even going to touch that that sticker. I'm just gonna leave it. It just looks so dang cool. What the little? Can you see that the little seats in the spaceship and every? I mean, yeah. Listen, this is the best. This album is the best Justice has sounded in years. So for them to kind of treat it this way with this kind of release, I think frankly is pretty cool. Also got passed my way is this new Mydnight album. Not changing the game or anything like that when it comes to electronic music, when it comes to house music. But if you're looking for some, house with kind of a classic throwback European flair to it and a lot of bouncy beats, a lot of fun melodies and, pianos and chords and stuff like that, you're going to dig on this. I mean, it's very tastefully put together. Again, not like one of the most mind-blowing house albums I've heard this year, but still very fun and very well put together. All the same. Bit of a double LP experience there. But yeah, I had not heard of this artist before this getting passed my way, and I was surprised by just how good it is and how little discussion I was seeing around this album. Oh, I forgot to say that given the black and yellow kind of color scheme of the record, one LP is black, one LP is yellow. There you go. There you go. There you go. The sun with the sunglasses. Very, very good likeness. Oh man, that's with those sunglasses on. He's such a vibe. Some people like romanticize the late '90s, early 2000s. That's what it was like, man. That right there. That's what it was like. Right there. That was the vibe. Okay. Also, an RSD release that I got half off. Charli XCX's #1 Angel. There you go. Again, I just saw the store that I got this at had a bunch of their record store day releases half off, and this was left over. I was like, #1 Angel for half. Okay, why the hell not? Like, geez. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, let's do it. There you go. #1 Angel. I mean, it's it's kind of like, there you go. There you go. Now you can kind of see it. There you go. I mean, if I can get Pop 2 and then also obviously How I'm Feeling Now, that would kind of, for the most part, complete my Charli collection. But wait, what the heck? Whoa! That's cool. That's sick. That's a sick insert to throw in there. That's tasteful. Nice. Nice. I Love You Too. White Roses. Let's see. 3 a.m. Blame It On You. Lots of bops on here. Lots of bops. I've also been... Nice red pressing. I've also been listening to XCX World, which I might have some thoughts on soon. But yeah, really cool. Really cool. Glad this got the record store day treatment. Bop! Okay, shout out to Bicep, who have been dropping this kind of CHROMA single series for a minute now. That's kind of something I'm going to come back to in another one, because I'm already going so long, and these last two I want to do are big fat ones. Bicep, electronic music outfit, have been dropping this CHROMA single series, going through this CHROMA single series for a minute now, and they've essentially culminated all of these songs into this one compilation, this one vinyl compilation. It really ranges. You've got deep house, you've got tech house, you've got breakbeat stuff in the mix as well. Some tracks have a guest vocalist, some tracks have a different kind of collaborator, some don't. It really kind of ranges, but again, they sort of threw it together in the single series, put it out on this CHROMA label as well, and now they're all kind of, bringing it together, culminating it with this very sort of like decked out, quite colorful and ornate vinyl release that comes in this sleeve, dropping it out. It has this This is cool as hell. This is like a thick plastic. This is a thick ass plastic insert that just has like the most kind of like strange neon glow to it. That I'm looking at it in the monitor, and I mean it looks cool, but like in person, I would say it pops even more. Like it pops even more, and it's just such a curious. Just such a curious visual. You could display this if you want, you know? Something like that. It looks very cool. It looks very cool. And again, fits within this. Huh. And then here's the record itself, which has another layer of cybersecurity. And oh, okay, all right, yeah, it's quite a few tracks, like maybe about what is it, 8, 9, 10, 12 or so. So it comes in this kind of like double LP presentation. There you go. Standard black pressing, but like still, the record quality feels real nice. But wow, what a package, man. What a package. Just all the colors. Insane. Tangs. Kara 36. Brillo. There you go. Essentially got the track listings right there. There we go. There's the track listing. So again, all these tracks split up among these records. This one's a white one, also black pressing, but very cool. Very cool, ambitious package for Bicep to pull together here. Very nice. Love that strange cyber scorpion art. Sick. Absolutely sick. Holy shit. Definitely one of the most decked out packages I've seen this year. However, I am anticipating that this next one here is going to be one of the most interesting and one of the most ambitious vinyl packages of 2025. Okay, here we go. Bam. Everybody, you are looking at the 50th anniversary edition of Pink Floyd's Wish You Were Here. One of their best records. You guys should know, I think very highly of the album, given my recent Pink Floyd worst to best. It is hands down one of their best LPs. Now, this thing is a massive mother. What is in it? You may be wondering as I almost drop it. Of course, you have the original album. You got the album. 4 LPs on clear vinyl. Rarities include 6 previously unreleased alternate demos and versions. Live at Wembley 74. Hardcover book with unseen photos. Audio and video Blu-ray. Replica Japanese 7-inch Nebworth poster. Comic book tour program. What the heck? Okay. Wow. Let's pop it open. Okay, there we go. We've made contact. Wish you were here. And also, love that art, the handshake. Obviously, you know, the seminal sort of like, you know, handshake visual, but kind of like playing out between 2 robotic, strange-looking hands. Also, it says there's a CD in. Okay, so there's CDs in the mix here too. So the rarities involve CDs. There's a CD of the original album and an LP of the original album. So you're getting different formats within this one box set. This is insane. Holy crap. We're doing it. Oh! Wow. And that's a big box too. That's a big, thick box. I mean, again, this has just come out. Maybe if there's a Pink Floyd fan in your life and you're scrambling for a gift, there you go. Original album, as advertised. Looks like you know, nothing too crazy. Just giving it that OG presentation, and it is on clear vinyl, as again, as advertised. Bam. But they got the the hands on there, I apologize. There's probably Pink Floyd fans screaming in the comments. Anyway, okay, here we have, I'm guessing this is the, okay, so this is like some of the rarities. This is the part 1 of the rarities. And we've got Wine Glasses, Have a Cigar alternate version, Wish You Were Here, featuring Stephanie Grappelli. Shine On You Crazy Diamond, early instrumental rough mix. Machine Song, Roger's demo. We've got more rarities on this other record, Overheat, which I imagine is on clear vinyl too, obviously. More liner notes, more info, more descriptions. Love this print, the handshake, the flames. Awesome, amazing. Boom, bam, boom, boom. The microphone, the airplane. Shine On You Crazy Diamond, You Gotta Be Crazy. This is the Live at Wembley stuff that we've got over here on this record. The bowler hats. More clear vinyl. Boom. Bam. And as was promised is this, the, oh wow, I love the, there, let me catch it in the light. There we go. This is the handshake again. Pink Floyd London. Is this the sort of like book? Okay, interesting. Oh wow. Oh wow, it's all in there. Okay, wow. Is this everything? Oh my god, the comic book. That is so cool. That is so freaking cool. What? Raj of the Rovers. Oh, and they've got like the credits for like the shows. That is so cute. That is so cool. Oh my god, this caricature drawing. That's adorable. Can you even see it? It's like it's a very strange, funny looking character drawing. More comic. Lifelines. Interesting. Oh my god. And again. And that's not even all the pages. There's more. Poster. Oh, here's that 7-inch. Oh, it's the Japanese 7-inch. That's crazy. That's insane. That's absolutely frickin' insane. All the Japanese on it? That's crazy. Oh my god. Oh my god. As I was saying, poster time? That is such a sick-ass design. What? Holy crap. Wow. This is crazy. This is bonkers. Like, this is a bonkers package. And I haven't even opened up this book yet. Like, this is just part of it. And this book is thick over here too. And this is a hardcover. Wish You Were Here 50. Okay, concept drawing. Poem by Simon Armitage. Abbey Road, North American Tour, 1975. Tour passes, high watt amplifiers. Oh, wow. All the pictures, all the photos. Oh, my God. And they look so good. Like, the pictures are great. Oh, wow. Yeah, if you know someone who this is their favorite Floyd, damn, this is crazy. This is so good. Holy crap, look at them. Look at all of them. Wow. Skipping forward. And the color photos are so good. Oh my God. Holy crap. Damn. The Nebworth show. Oh my God. There's Raj. Wow. The onion bagger t-shirt. That's crazy. And there's the CDs over there. Crazy. Crazy. And again, that wasn't even everything in the book. Wow. Wow. This is nuts. This is nuts. I mean, you guys have, you know, hopefully seen me do quite a few of these vinyl updates, vinyl videos, so on and so forth. This has got to be one of the craziest vinyl packages I've ever opened on this YouTube channel. I'm not being told to say that. That's nuts. That is nuts. Holy crap. This has got to be front ways. Maybe, let me see. This ways, that ways, and other ways. Because, wow. Wow, wow, wow. Wow, wow, wow. Now, come on now. Come on now. There we go. Okay. There it is. Landed back on home base. Holy crap. This is huge. This is huge. I can't wait to dig into these extras. This thing is so good. This is so good. I'm going to be enjoying this over winter break, honestly. Watch the Pink Floyd Worst to Best if you haven't. This is incredible. This is an incredible box set. That's all I got to say about that. Holy shit. I think that's going to be it for this vinyl update, y'all. That's what got added to the collection. Those are the recent ads. All listed down below, of course. And you guys are the best. Over here next to my head is another video you can check out. Hit that up with a link to subscribe to the channel. Anthony Fantano, vinyl update forever.